When I used to think about building a real estate portfolio that was going to ultimately lead to generational or lasting wealth, I used to think of, hundreds of units or big apartment complexes that I would own one day, and just stacking it and stacking it and stacking it and getting to 100,000 units. And that's not a problem. But at the time, I was lacking the knowledge and truthfully understanding that all it really took and all it really takes to get that is doing one deal, doing it right, and allowing that to be the fuel to do the next one. A little over a year ago, I was out chasing, just trying to find any deal that I could do. That ranged from duplex to quads to multifamily, like big multifamily, 32 units plus. I was just trying to find a deal. And again, I was lacking the knowledge and I didn't really have a full buy box. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew that I wanted to do it. And I took the initiative. I did a lot of learning and studying to ensure that I know exactly which one I'm going to fall on. And it took some time, and I came across self storage, and I've never looked back. To give you context, I found my first deal last year in April of 2024. It was a self storage deal, and I knew after a lot of research that this is what I wanted to pursue. So I went ahead and I made my offer, got that deal done, and the entire acquisition process taught me a lot about what I will do for the next deal and how I can continue to build wealth when I start to add more facilities. This deal, it taught me a lot, especially when it came to the acquisitions process. But there are a couple of things that really stick out amongst the rest. One, it taught me that I didn't really need 50 facilities, or I need to start stacking multiple facilities and buy one and then buy the next and buy the next just to build wealth. Buying one deal and doing it properly can actually build you some long term wealth. And then the second thing that it taught me was I knew that I was going to make self storage my vehicle to build long term wealth. My current self storage deal now is not my destination, and it's definitely not just one off deal that I'm looking to get into and then move on to the next. My goal with this deal is to allow it to be the bridge to my next deal so that I can continue to rinse and repeat, but do it effectively. I'm looking at building a system that allows me to purchase one self storage facility, improve the value of that asset, cash out refi, take the funds that are tax free, and purchase another. And that may seem like I'm stacking. And don't get me wrong, I am. I'm going to buy another one. I'm going to buy another one after that. But the goal is that after each self storage facility that I buy, I continue to learn, I continue to scale, and I'm able to implement a system that allows me to purchase another facility. I have a three-part phase that I'm going to implement in order to scale my self storage portfolio. I'm looking to one, stabilize, two, optimize, and three, scale. When it comes to stabilization, you got to remember that every deal requires stabilization. Doesn't matter if you're taking over turnkey or you're taking over a heavy lift with the complete turnaround. It does require you to stabilize it because what the previous owner was doing is not what you're doing. You're going to implement your own systems and automation, and those things are what make you successful. It's how you operate, but it was not what they were doing. So things do have to shift. You have to onboard tenants onto your platform. You have to start marketing a different way, but there is a little bit of stabilization that needs to take place no matter what on any type of deal. And when it comes to the type of deals that I'm looking at, I'm going in for value add deals. So my stabilization requires me to collect on some of these rents that weren't being collected on, clean up delinquencies, and then clean up the operation as a whole. And if I can get to it during this phase, I'm going to also look at seeing if I can raise some occupancy up too. During this phase, Everything that I'm doing is to ensure that I learn every ins and out, every corner and facet of running this business. You have to prove that the model works. And you got to understand that you have to know this stuff before you look to scale. Then, once you're stable, you're ready to move into phase two, optimize. You're looking now to optimize and grow your NOI. At the end of the day, that's where your equity lies. We're going in where our focus is now to raise rents, add in automation, and start marketing. With my current facility, the owner didn't have any marketing going on. She didn't even have a website for the facility. So there was really no marketing happening. It was just people drive by and they see it. And that used to work. That's an old adage that if you build it, they come. But it's not going to work in the 21st century. It's not going to work today. You need to now market that product that you have. And that's one of the easiest ways to improve the occupancy and eventually the bottom line, the NOI. Second to that, of course, as we're raising rents, we're getting people to market levels. At my current facility, there are cases where rents are even as low as 80% of the market, and we have plenty of opportunity to increase rents there. On average, we're looking to do a 60% rate increase for the entire facility. When you combine that 60% increase and marketing that's happening, you're getting new people in at the new rates, and you're also increasing your current customers to market rates. You're going to immediately improve the value of your facility. And if you're new and you don't understand what NOI is net operating income. That's how much my business takes home after everything is paid for, net. The NOI is so important because in commercial real estate, the value is based off of that. So for every dollar that I increase, in some markets, you're looking at anywhere from a $12 to $15 increase in your value of your property. But this really only applies to commercial real estate because obviously residential goes based off of comps. And this is why I'm so heavy on the NOI. If we focus on the growth of our NOI, the value of the facility is worth more. And that's where equity is created. And lastly, the one facility works and you have the proof of concept, now you can look to scale. See, when it comes to scaling is not just about buying one property and then buying 5, 10 more properties later on. Scale is about repeating that system over and over again because you understand that it works. So when I get this property and I understand that it works and I know how to run that system, then I use the exact same blueprint and I buy another one with it and another one and another one. And that allows me to scale efficiently. And to complete that system, you have to have your exit strategy already in place. My favorite exit strategy is a cash out refi. Because in a sale, which is most commonly used, you have to get rid of your asset, you have to dispose of it. You no longer have the cash flow or, again, that asset in and of itself. My goal is to cash out refi, take all the equity that I built by improving the value, increasing my NOI, take all of that equity that was built and cash out refi. This means I can take all the equity that I built now, go get a new loan on the exact same facility rather than selling it. And with the new loan, there's a new value of the facility. So there will be an overage of funds left over. That would be the cash that I'm taking out on the refinance, if that makes sense. This allows me to now take any overage and apply it towards a new property using the same blueprint that I did from the previous property. My end goal is to create a company structure that is able to handle buying and operating multiple facilities at scale. The hardest part isn't even finding the deal or finding the funds for the next deal. It's really just about staying disciplined and executing that plan before you go out and purchase the next facility. See, most people will just rush out after they find one, they got it, they buy it, They execute for a while, and then they're ready to go out and buy the next one. And they haven't even mastered their current one. I'm focused on being excellent on the one that I currently run. That way, as I scale, all I'm doing is copying a blueprint that I understand and know that works, that proof of concept, so that the next one operates just the same, if not better. And when you operate on being excellent on what you currently have, over time, that excellence compounds. This is how I'm building my self storage portfolio, one deal, one system, one lesson at a time. I'm not looking to rush and jump into the next deal when I have not even mastered the current one. And it's not flashy, and it's definitely not overnight, but it's real ownership. It's what really lasts and creates real wealth. This is my ownership era, and these are the things that I'm learning and implementing in my business in order to be successful. If you're looking to operate in excellence and become the better version of you, or you like what you saw in the video, please let me know down in the comments. Like, subscribe, and follow for more content. Thanks for watching, and remember, ownership era is not about getting rich fast. It's about building wealth.